Okay, I'm going to do this video on cooking hot dogs at home as though you're a hot dog man in a hot dog stand. And I'm going to use my grill here, my Weber grill. And I went and purchased these items off of a website, and I'm going to have them on my Amazon affiliate link. This is a false bottom, 1/3 size, and I got two of them. I got the cover for the steam table pan here. Here's my 1/3 size steam table pan, 4 inches deep. 4 inches should be sufficient to put the hot dogs and the buns in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to steam my hot dogs and buns. You could also do dirty water hot dogs, which basically you put the hot dogs in water and you boil them. But to be more accurate to what a hot dog stand does, they mostly steam their hot dogs. And I have two false bottoms here. They're also 1/3 size. This is an appropriate size for me anyway, to fit in my grill. And what I'm going to do is you put the false bottom into the pan, and I'm going to put two of them in there. This will give me a little bit more room to add more water so that it doesn't evaporate quite as quick. But you can get away with one pan, one of these false bottoms. So I would put the hot dogs on here, and then I would boil them, not boil them, I would steam the hot dogs on here, and also cover the top of it so that the steam stays in there. And depending on how hot you want your hot dogs, it'll take my little grill here quite a lot of time to start creating steam, probably about 20 minutes. And I'm just going to pour water into this pan here. I could probably get away with just one of these false bottoms. I've done it before and it worked, because these take up quite a bit of room in this little small pan here. But I think it's sufficient enough to have the hot dogs and the buns in there. And your hot dogs will be nicely steamed as well. And I'll show you the results in a bit. So I started up my grill, and the cool thing about this is the small pan. At least in mine, it only fit this way. It could fit under there actually, but it's really tough. You really want to have it like right about there. That way you could cook hamburgers and other things on the outside of this. But as you can see, I got my pan in there, and my cover will fit nicely on top. And then I'll be able to close the unit and let it cook. Now you're going to have to use thongs on these. They're going to get really hot. You can't just lift it off when it's cooking. So I'm going to fill this up with water right now, up to the point before it hits the false bottom. You don't want the water on top of the false bottom. Okay, I got my water in here. Using two false bottoms, it's a little higher than I really want it to be, but it'll be fine for this demonstration, and it'll work properly. You put your hot dogs in, and when it gets starting steaming, you'll notice when it starts steaming, and you put the cap on, the cover on top, and close the lid, and it'll quickly cook those hot dogs. And then when you get close to the end where you think the hot dogs are properly done, you can put some buns in there and steam those as well. And I'll show you what both look like. Remember, you're going to need thongs, something like this, to pull the lid off and grab the hot dogs and buns, because it's going to be pretty hot in there. But I'm using my Weber grill. I got to wait about 15 minutes for it to start making steam. Now normally I'd use Sabret hot dogs, but I kind of ran out of Sabret hot dogs. I had these Salons hot dogs from Aldi's. They're pretty inexpensive, and they do have a natural casing on them. So if you like that natural casing, these might be good for you. And I'm going to be using these hot dogs and regular old Great Value buns. And my grill's heating up that water right now. I don't have a working thermometer at this point, but you'll know when you can put those hot dogs in. You can put them in now before it even starts steaming, but there's no rush right now. I have my grill set to the highest temperature on both sides, and it looks like that. One thing is this is going to be a really clean method of cooking these. The only thing you really got to clean out is the pan, and it's not that bad. But we're going to use these hot dogs in this attempt here. I also picked up some of these foil wraps. They're just 12 by 10 inch foil sheets where I can roll my hot dogs in and keep them nice and warm after I cook them. I kind of like the authentic method of making this look like it's actually a hot dog stand, because I kind of like the nostalgia of that, you know. And when we get a hot dog, we'll just wrap it up on that foil there. I also got this foil for potatoes. I want to like cook potatoes in foil, and these came out really, they have dual purpose. And it should be kind of hot enough in there now to open up the lid, use my tongs, and put the hot dogs on the false bottoms. But the tin foils themselves look like that size. They're pretty big sizes. You could put like a hamburger in there and keep it warm. I'm just gonna roll hot dogs in there and see what happens. I thought it'd be pretty cool. And I just wanted to show you the hot dogs are on the false bottoms. The water on the bottom is starting to boil some. It's not exactly steaming yet. And whenever you touch it from now on, use your thongs or some kind of material that isn't going to burn you, because this is going to get really hot. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes and I let the hot dog stay in there. Let's see what we got. Water is boiling, so we got steam going on in there. They're pretty hot, so I think they're done. So now I got my buns. I'm going to place the buns in here and steam the buns. Now this little 4-inch pan barely lets you put the buns in there, but it lets you. I also have a larger one, like a 6-inch. But because this thing is so limited, this grill, I didn't want to use that one. We'll let it stay in there for about 1 or 2 minutes, let those buns absorb some of that moisture, get some steam going on them. You don't even have to close the top if you don't want to, but I think it would speed up the process. So we'll see what they come out like. Okay, I'm going to lower the temperature, actually turn it off. I don't need it anymore. The buns are sufficiently steamed. They steam extremely quick, so be careful. And they are hot, so you might need your thongs. And I'm putting them over here on a plate. These hot dogs look like they're nicely steamed. Put them on the buns. Here's the hot dogs. And I'm going to put my cap back on. I'm not going to touch it. It's extremely hot right now. I'll close the grill. And I got my foil wrap over here. And I'm just going to wrap these hot dogs in the foil wrap. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Keep that hot dog nice and warm before we get to eat it. And it kind of reminds me of the hot dog man. When you go to a hot dog stand and they wrap it for you, and it's pretty cool. I don't go to hot dog stands as often as I want. I mean, you can only eat so many hot dogs, but doing them at home is nice. Making hot dog stand hot dogs at home. And here's my foil wrap again. Pull another piece out. A little ripped. I guess I gotta get better at doing that. And just wrap it in. Doing it one hand is kind of tough too, so. And all I'm making is 3 hot dogs today. But that's how I make hot dogs on my grill. So I make hot dog stand hot dogs at home on my grill using steam. And all the cooking appliances I'll have in the link below. I'm an Amazon affiliate, and I'll show you where you can get the pan, the cover, and the false bottoms. You could also get 1 false bottom. Now I'm using a 3rd size because my grill's kind of small, but if I had a bigger grill I could use a larger one. I think the height is more important than the actual size of the width of it.